All right, cool. So, like always, you guys know how I mark up. We're going to start with the DXY. I'll kind of show you what I have for my idea. We'll see if it comes back down to this level. I'm going to start on the daily chart for you guys, like always. It looks to me like we're in a downtrend. Sometimes I'd like to check the line chart just to see, kind of like where all the zones are, and so we don't get as much noise from all the candlesticks and stuff like that. So we can see that we were in this downtrend right here, but I think we're going to be seeing some bullish sentiment from the dollar the rest of the week. The reason why is because if you draw this trend line right there to right there. So we're starting to break this trend line. If you guys are new to the webinar, all of the blue lines are going to be from the daily, and all the orange ones are going to be from the 4-hour. I don't really mark up anything else, but so you can see right here, I even mark these daily. I can even change this to daily as well. Hey, could I have you guys mute your mics for me? All right. Hey guys, could you mute your mics? Hey Hugo, could you mute your mic?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Thank you, brother. All right. So this daily chart right here, so we're breaking this daily trend line. So I'm starting to see some bullish sentiment, and then also you see it's creating these higher highs and higher lows right here. So if we do, you can kind of see, I'll just mark up with the brush really quickly. There's the first higher high. Here's first higher low, higher high, higher low, and then it looks like we are now making the higher high up here, pulled back, and then we can kind of continue to see this start to head up that way. So this is why I have a little bit of bullish sentiment on the DXY. If we look to the other major pairs, I have these dropping down at least to this daily level right there. So you can see that this is bullish for GBP USD. Looks like this might need to pull back. I would like to see it pull back to at least this ceiling and now create a floor. This wick right here was actually I believe prior to the GBP Brexit news. If we can head down to the 4-hour, you can see that's a pretty aggressive down candle, and then immediately right back up, and then it's kind of back into this range right here in between this 4-hour level and this daily level right here. So we're kind of consolidating between here. I see GBP coming down and then heading back up. You can see on the daily chart that I had marked up bullish on the dollar. So GBP. This pair is a little bit messy for me, just because there's no real structure or anything like that. I believe we're kind of in a ranging market. We have a tap here to the high, and then we also have a tap here, so I can kind of see this coming down, especially if the dollar is going to rise. And then we also have all this support down here, and then also this last tap right here. So I think we're in a range. Same thing that I've been saying all week about USD JPY. I would really like to see this come down here. On the daily chart, you can see that it broke this downtrend line too. So the other thing that I would like to see is a break of these highs right here, and even a break of these highs back here to complete a break and retest of the structure right here, and then just keep continuing up. So here's one of the options that I see for GBP US or GBP JPY. And then also a break and retest to continue heading up if it does break this level right here. GBP CAD, this is in a range. I noticed this. Yeah, this is in a pretty nasty range on the daily chart. So this is our daily resistance right here, and this is our daily support, and then the equilibrium. I like to put the equilibrium in here because you can kind of see that price reacts around this level. We have like a little bit of support right there. Price comes down here, and then right above this equilibrium level. So price tends to, in ranging markets, hit resistance a couple times, and then also hit support a couple times, but also move back to this equilibrium. So what I would really like to see for GBP CAD is come back up here, hit this resistance, and start seeing some bearish reversal candles, and then back down to our support. I wouldn't be taking any buys on this until this level gets broken right here. Right there. Then if we go to the candles, I would even like to see the top of this wick get broken and then retested. So GBP CAD, I mean, that could take a while to set up. I mean, this is the daily chart, and so you can see this is in a pretty nasty range. Again, yep. So this one I really just see coming to this resistance and then dropping. Euro USD, same thing. We're in this consolidation all through here, just bouncing back and forth, bouncing back and forth. We have this fake out right here. And then also this fake out right here. If you guys are in the School of Charts group chat, you can see that I sent that from last night. So I still think that Euro USD still has to come down here and tap this support, just because we're still in this range. So all the market makers did was come up here, grab liquidity, stop losses, and buy stop orders. Everybody's going long because they see this bullish candle right here, and the market makers take it right back into this range right there. So I can still see that the euro is still just going to be bouncing through this range right here. So bearish on any XXX USD pairs and bullish on the dollar. So I'm still seeing the same thing with AUD USD, even though this is looking like it's in an uptrend. I do think the Aussie dollar could drop. If we head to the 4-hour, you can see it's kind of breaking these lows right here, and it even retested. So I can see this dropping even down to this daily support down here. I did have this 4-hour level marked up for this resistance right here, and then also this resistance. So this is kind of some some levels while it was trending upwards. I was in a couple of AUD USD longs, but I closed them out early, and it looks like I think my take profit was like up here or something like that, right up at 42. So it looks like it missed our take profit by 7 pips. I'm gonna go to Euro odd, and then just the opposite of AUD USD. I think that this is going to be rising. Let me get off of this tool. I think this is going to rise up back up into this daily level. We're bouncing off of this weekly level right here. And if we go to the line chart, this is why I like the line chart. We're forming a little double bottom right here. And it's right in the middle of the RSI. So it's not giving us really any indication whether it could drop or just keep coming back up here. So we could also say the GBP CAD would do this, break, retest, and then head down to our daily level of support right here, bring back the candle chart, and then that's what I would really like to see on that. So this right here, I'll show you the impulse waves. So first impulse wave, second impulse wave, another impulse wave, correction wave rather, impulse wave, correction. So I would really like to see break and retest on this low right there. My markup for Euro odd, GBP JPY. Go to the 4-hour or Euro JPY rather, and you can still see that these JPY pairs are in consolidation. So this one right here, I've actually marked up because we have this tap right here to create support, and we also have the double bottom right here, and now price is heading back up to this resistance. We have multiple taps up here, and when we're in a ranging market, it's 2 taps for resistance and 2 taps for support to be a ranging market. If we are in an uptrend, you can still have double bottoms and double tops in uptrends. It really just needs to be defined if if there's 2 or more taps to resistance or support. I'm hoping making sense here. So 1 tap right here, second and third tap for support, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 taps to resistance right here. So we're bouncing off this support, and we are heading up towards this 124.862 level. GBP AUD, similar thing to what's going on with GBP CAD. You can see, man, I really don't like that candle, but we're just going to ignore that. We're going to pretend that this is the resistance right here. So we have this candle comes up perfectly to our resistance. And if we head to the line chart, taps it perfectly again. So we have 2 taps to the top, and then now we are starting to create 1 and 2 taps to the bottom right here. I'm considering these to be 2 taps to the bottom. And so under my rules for a ranging market, I consider that to be in a range from this level to this level. Break out the fib. Sorry guys, I'm still getting over a cold. Break out the fib. You have the equilibrium level right at the 50%. So you can kind of see this is even hovering around that level too. So we have this support right here. Breaks the support, becomes resistance, comes all the way down to our daily support down here, comes back up, rejects off of this equilibrium, and now it's coming through our equilibrium back up to our resistance. So I'm going to be looking for sells up in this area. With our first take profit always at equilibrium, if you're trading ranging markets, if you're not comfortable trading ranging markets, then just stand aside and continue to just keep practicing the break and retest. We come up here, so this is our first take profit, and then this is our second take profit. Looks like a risk reward of almost 1 to 5, so 1 to 4.5. So that's a pretty good risk reward, and you can even step down to the lower time frames, get that risk even tighter. Maybe even do like a 43 pip stop loss to bag 430 back down to this range. For a risk reward of almost 1 to 10, that's a pretty heavy risk reward. Keep in mind that this pair is pretty volatile. GBP AUD. AUD is not the strongest currency, and GBP is a very aggressive pair. So that's why you see GBP JPY move so crazy. GBP USD moves really crazy as well too, and GBP AUD actually I think moves the most intense, even more than GBP JPY. So when you guys trade, the more that you guys have experience and stuff like that, you'll start to notice these little tendencies. Like JPY pairs are really, really wicky. And what I mean by that is you get these long wicks. I know this is GBP AUD. We can even go to JPY and see all of these wicks that it creates. So something just to take into account if you guys are going to be trading JPY pairs. This one, I still think it's in a range. We still have this daily level right here. We have this support that it created right there, the support that it created right here. Resistance, and then price tried to push up, and then the sellers just push it right back into this range. So this one, I think USD JPY is just going to keep dropping. Even though the DXY, I plan on going up. USD JPY can really do whatever it wants just because JPY has a lot of liquidity. It's one of the largest pairs. Do you use the date and price to find the equilibrium? I do the bottom of the resistance or the top of the resistance to the bottom of the support with the Fibonacci. So right here, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I just like to visualize where this level is. Again, that's why I have this little rectangle so you can kind of see where price comes back to. So resistance up here, support down here, and you can see price is reacting right in the middle of the range. So it's kind of bouncing around, create resistance, came back up, broke through the resistance, tested as support. I mean, you could be trading this range. I never take trades in the middle of a range just because it could literally just go wherever. So I always take trades I take sells at the top of resistance, and I take buys at the bottom of support. And these, the reason I like trading ranges is because if you can get good at them, they offer really, really good risk reward ratios. So this one right here, I honestly might be selling. It looks like it's creating a double top. And the only thing that I don't like is that I think the dollar is a little bit bullish. So I think I'm going to be patient and wait until London session tonight to finally form my bias. Right now, it's still the Asian session. London session is in 6 hours. Sorry, London session's in 6 hours. For those of you that want to get into cryptos, I marked up cryptos for you guys just so you can see what's going on. On crypto charts, I don't use anything bigger than the 4-hour, and I don't use anything less than the 3-minute on cryptocurrencies, just because if you're using the daily chart, this is relatively not that much data to be trading cryptos. So what I like to do is I like to go to the 4-hour chart because the 4-hour chart's one, my favorite. Two, you can really see how price is reacting around here. So I'm just going to highlight this area because it looks like we were in this consolidation right here. And then it finally broke out. And then now we're in more consolidation right here. Can you guys see that pretty clearly? So this consolidation right here broke out, and now it's in consolidation again. For me to sell this pair, I would need to see it break this low right here, come back and retest somewhere in this area that I have marked up, and then just keep continuing dropping. For me to be bullish on this, I would love to see it come up here, break this high right there, come back down, and then maybe even hit this equilibrium for our first take profit, and then hit this resistance right here for our third, or for our second take profit. If this is trending, you guys know me, I like my fibs. Can break this out. Look for an entry right on the 38.2. 16.18 goes right to the equilibrium. You might be stretching out to hit the second take profit for the top of this. You just have to watch price action work out on that. So on the shorter time frame, so I'm gonna hop down to the 1 hour. You can see this is really just bouncing back and forth between the floor and the ceiling right here, grabbing liquidity down here, so faking people out with this big candle. A lot of people were getting in, selling. They reverse the market back up, hits this resistance, comes back down to our support, and you can see prices kind of reacting around our equilibrium level. Same thing with this one. I just draw it from the bottom of the support to the top of the resistance, right at the 50 level, and that's how I get my equilibrium. So I draw a line right there. I draw my zone just so I can see how price is acting around here. So if you are trading XRP USD, you could be looking for maybe buys to the top of this range right here. So it looks like it's getting a pretty good rejection. I would wait 10 minutes to see how this candle closes before I enter this. But this one I would be looking for a buy. You can even hop down to the 15-minute, and we are getting some bullish sentiment, but these candles aren't the most decisive. Meaning it's not pushing away like we would want to. So like right here. This right here, we have this excuse me. We have this double bottom right here, and then this candle right here that pushes all the way to the top of this range. This right here is a very, very bullish, decisive candle. What time frame do you use to define the equilibrium? I find the range that it's in, and then I draw the fib from the bottom of support to the top of the resistance, and then draw the line at the 50 level. So really whatever time frame, it works on every time frame. So we can see, if I go to the 30-minute, let's see if we can find some consolidation back here. This is just an example that I'm showing you guys. Just consolidation that this is in. This is on the 30-minute chart. So I'm showing you guys how I would mark up my ranges. Cool. Take out the Fibonacci from the bottom of support to the top of resistance, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a line at the 50 level, right there. And then I like to make it a different color just so I know that that's the equilibrium. And then you can see even here, even on the 30-minute chart, you can still see that even though this is in a range, price always tends to find its way back to equilibrium. You can see a little bit cleaner on the line chart as well too. So you got this resistance, price is kind of just hanging out around here before going up to the top of our range, then comes back down, finds support, comes to the top of the range. So really just whatever time frame if you guys want to use, and then I delete the Fibonacci, and here is my range. So again, this is just a 30-minute chart. You can do this for all time frames, daily, weekly, 1 minute. I don't recommend doing that. I really don't mark up any charts any less than the 4-hour, and I take my entries on the 5 and the 3-minute charts. Yes, it does have to be in a range in order to find the equilibrium. There's that's the only time that I really use equilibrium is in ranges. So that's just a little trick that my mentor told me is when you see price kind of bouncing back and forth right here. You can even see on US 30 how I had this. This is a 4-hour chart, but we can use this on the 30-minute to see how this will play out. So bottom of support, top of resistance. I'm going to put a line at the 50 level. And then you can see price is still kind of reacting around the middle of that range. This could be a little bit cleaner. USD 30 is pretty crazy. You can see how this is kind of holding that support right here. Not the best support resistance. And then it just keeps finding its way to the equilibrium level. I'm gonna have to get a cough drop, guys. Sorry. I've been feeling the best lately. These are pretty much all the pairs that I'm watching. I'm going to send the rest of the markups in the School of Charts group chat. Right now, the School of Charts isn't accepting any members. If you guys are from FX Vision, I appreciate you guys for hopping on here. To answer your question, Miguel, I do webinars on Sunday at 7 p.m. MST, and then also tonight on Wednesdays at 8:30 as well too. And then this is my markup for Euro CAD. This is in a downtrend, but it's been downtrending for a while, so I think it could head back up here somewhere in this area, but I would like to see a little bit more reversal or anything like that, because this didn't really push past this level right here to push down in here, and we have this support. So I think it's definitely going to at least head up to that level right there, and then it could drop. But then if we step down, if we step out to the weekly, you can see that this is definitely in an uptrend. So I think my bias on EuroCAD would definitely be to go up, at least to right there. I'm going to wait for price action to play out a little bit more. We have this indecisive candle right here from last week, and it looks like we're creating a decisive bearish candle this week, but it's only only Wednesday, so we'll have to see how this one plays out. And this candle right here is forming perfectly on support, so this is why I'm going to hold off until this one. You have this weekly trend line. I'm going to be just a little bit more patient until I get some more direction on this one, at least until I see a shift in momentum on the 4 hours. So I'm going to hold off on EuroCAD, but all of these other pairs I'm going to be watching. So this is the dollar index on the 1 hour chart again. Again, we can see that this is in a little bit of consolidation. So the dollar isn't really showing us too much sentiment to get into a trade. My preferred setup would be this. And this is the dollar index. So if you guys are trading gold, if you guys are trading GBP USD, Euro USD, AUD USD, whatever the dollar does, all of these other ones are going to be inverse of that. So if it's XXX USD pairs, whatever the dollar is doing, those are going to be the opposite. This is creating resistance right here. It's actually creating some consolidation in this area right here. So I would really, for me to enter any trades, I would like to see a break and retest of this high. Right there. Right there, break, retest, and then continue upwards to our daily level right here. So that is my markup for this week. What I'm going to do is open up any questions for you guys. If you guys have simple questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. And then if you guys want me to mark up a different pair, you guys can unmute your mics and we can kind of go over that. You guys have any questions or anything? You guys all good to go? Daryl, what chart do you look at for entries? So I look at the 15-minute chart for entries. I go to the 4-hour. Okay, let's hop on a different pair. Okay, so I wouldn't take this trade. I'm just showing you for example. If this one right here, I'd be watching this level of resistance. What's up? So what I would be looking for is I see this rejection candle right here. It created this wick, and then sellers push price back down, and then we were able to create more resistance up here. So with the 4-hour chart, you guys gotta understand that on the lower time frames, what this is actually going to look like is a quadruple top. So we can drop down to the 15-minute. You can see, well, this is just a clean triple top. So you have this rejection right here, and then you have this double top as well. So what I do is I look at the daily and 4-hour to see the overall trend. Then I look at the 1 hour to see if we're in consolidation, see if we're in break, retest, or anything like that. And I'm going to be looking for sell opportunities at the top of resistance if I see this double top right there. So my entry. Hey, Junior, could you mute your mic? So my entry would be right there. So once I see this double top form right there, I see these bullish candles, and I see this one break that support right there. This would be my entry right there. So we can go to the 4-hour, and this is how you get these wick entries. So it looks like my entry is right there that we marked up on the 15-minute chart. Make that green. Cool. So I would see this this rejection on the 15-minute chart, and then it created a double top up here, and then my entry would have been there. My first take profit would be at this equilibrium level right here, and my second take profit would be right there. And you can see if we put our stop loss right above these highs right here, our stop loss would have been fine, and our take profit, our second take profit, would have got hit for 168 pips, only risking 43. And our first take profit would have gotten hit for 40 or 80, still only risking 43. Does that kind of make sense on how I take entries and stuff like that?
Yeah, it makes sense. Thank you very much.
Cool. What's the difference between resistance and consolidation? So resistance is also referred to as a ceiling. So okay, this right here would be considered resistance right there. And then this right here will be considered support right there. So there is our support level, and then here's our resistance level. And resistance is really just a ceiling, and then support is a floor. When you are in consolidation, that means that the market has no real direction. So you can see that this dropped, pulled back, created this double top right here, right there, and then dropped again. So this to me is a trending market. So you have this rejection off this support right here and this rejection off resistance, and it's still trending. It's making a higher low and then also a lower low. And if you guys haven't watched the market structure video that I just did last night, it's on the School of Charts YouTube. You guys can see how I go over higher lows and higher highs, lower lows, and everything like that, just describing the difference between uptrends, downtrends, and consolidating markets. So to answer your question, VP, this right here to me would be consolidation because there's no real direction up or down. It's kind of just bouncing back and forth sideways. And you can see in this one, comes up, bounces off support, and then makes resistance and comes back in. So this right here would be the higher low, and this one right here would be the lower low right there. Does that answer you guys' questions?
Nick, how you doing? My name is Fred.
Hey man, what's going on? This is actually Evan. I'm just on Nick's
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. You're good. You're good. I know it's kind of confusing.
All right, so a pair that I've been studying, is USD Mexican peso.
Okay.
It's a little different. A lot of people don't really trade it like that. But I caught some pips on it last week and I kind of fell in love with it. Okay. So if you're not in a rush or nothing, I would like to see how you would mark that up.
Yeah, bro, let's go for it.
Cool.
So I know that this pair is pretty crazy. Really, really interesting. So I always start off by looking at the daily chart just to get the overall direction. And I really don't see any pullback. So this is going to pull back pretty hard. Back up here. Because, you see these little supports that it's forming, but, that's so minor. Price is really just blasting like right through that. So even if we step up to the weekly, yeah. So what I would do is I actually see that this is in a range right now. So what I'm going to do is mark that. All right. So can you guys tell me, is there any real direction on this market? Like, is it making higher highs or higher lows from what you can see right here? To me, this is in a range on the weekly. So what I'm going to do is I see all the support being formed down here, and I see these two taps of resistance up here. So that to me, this qualifies to be in consolidation on the weekly chart. So keep in mind, this is a lot of price data. We can still use the same techniques to trade this. So what I'm going to do, break the Fibonacci out, mark this level right at the 50. All right. So now we can see that we have our equilibrium level set. Prices reacting back towards this equilibrium level. We have this resistance right here. Broke resistance, created support, hit this resistance up here and completely just came all the way back down. It seems like that's what we're doing with the US dollar Mexican peso. So I see this coming back down to this support, and then I have bias to believe that it's going to come either up to this equilibrium or even up back towards this weekly. So we can even step down to the daily chart, and I think I would trade this pair just like this. I would wait until price comes down into this area. I'll be looking for reversal candles. So what I mean by reversal candles are, this little hammer right here. That's a reversal candle. You can see that price just reacted away from this area. So we have this candle right there, and price just shot back up there. Also, yeah, you could trade this on a lower time frame. On the 4 hour, I don't really like this pair on the 4 hour. It's a little bit cleaner on the 1 hour. It could be setting some minor support and resistance. So support right there. Support at our equilibrium. You can see that it's reacting right there. You can set support right there. And then even support right there, resistance. This would have been a good entry for a sell. And then even break this down to that. So if you wanted to, what you could do, if you wanted to take this trade, wait for it to come to either the 38.2 or or the 61.8. I like the 61.8 level a little bit better. It's the golden Fibonacci ratio. And then you also have all of this little minor support right there as well too. So I'd be looking for sell opportunities. This is in a very, very, very heavy downtrend. There's absolutely no way that I'd be buying this pair. I'd wait for this to pull back. We can see that we got the break right here. And then we get the retest, comes right to the 61.8. And then you could even, for the longer term, you could even hold this down for the weekly. So this is a trade that you would set with this pair. Since it's so crazy, typically I set my stop loss at the 78.6, but since this pair is pretty crazy, I'd probably set my stop loss at the 110% on the Fibonacci level. And then first take profit at 0, second take profit at -27, third take profit at -61.8, and then you could even leave a position open to catch, I think that's 4,500 pips. So you would also be risking 713. So you got to have a count to hold that. If you like this pair, I can send this little markup to you, and you can kind of watch this happen and see if this markup plays out. So yeah, we're tapping a little bit oversold on the 1 hour on the RSI. Yes, we're kind of getting down into this range down here. So I can definitely see this coming back If this does create a ceiling and holds up here, I'd definitely be selling at this level right here, just at least in this area. So this little red box is where I'd be looking for sell opportunities. Right there. More specifically, I'd be looking for sell right at 18.936 or a sell at 18.973. I hope that helps you out. How can you tell the difference between minor and major support resistance? Major support and resistance are going to be from the weekly and daily charts, and then minor support and resistance is going to be anything less than that. I consider my minor support and resistance to be the 4 hour and the 1 hour. And then I don't consider, anything to be valid as support and resistance on anything less than, really the 4 hour. I don't really like support and resistance on the 1 hour. It is minor, but they just get torn through. Those levels just get broken. They're not really respected too much when you hop down to the lower time frames. So that is pretty much what I have for this week. If there's any other pairs or anything that you guys would like me to mark up, you guys can go ahead and add those into the chat. If not, what I'm going to do is we can hop off, and then I will post this video to YouTube. If you guys would like to see more information and stuff like that, I also started an Instagram page that's School of Charts, and then you can also check out the YouTube as well. And that's just School of Charts as well. You can see my markups. You can rewatch this video, see how I draw support, resistance, Fibonacci's, what I look for in ranges and stuff like that. But if you guys got some value from this chat, if you guys learned something, would you guys go ahead and type in 8 into the chat for me? Awesome. Oh man, you guys are blowing this up. All right, cool. I'm glad we could teach you guys. A lot of good vibes in this chat. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, like I'm crazy. Zone to zone gang. Yep. Yes, sir. Zone to zone gang. 38.2 fib level. So, all right, guys. I appreciate you. If you guys want to reach out to me, you guys most likely have my Telegram. Feel free to ask me any questions or anything like that. And social media handles. This is my personal one. And then this is the School of Charts social media handle. Young_Jenks, and then School of Charts. Cool. Take a screenshot, do whatever you need to do. Rewatch these videos. If you guys are still learning about market structure, setting support resistance, taking entries on breaks and retests, I cover all this stuff in my ebook. You guys can probably pick up a few little nuggets here and there for the ebook. Also, if you guys have any friends or anything like that that could benefit from this information, I'm also going to be looking forward to reopening the School of Charts to introduce new members to the group. Probably the beginning of February. So I'm actually going to be creating video courses to go along with the ebook to fill in any questions that you guys may have. So doing market structure videos. I'm also going to be doing setting support and resistance, what I look for, how to trade ranges, setting up trading view, everything like that. I actually just did a video on how to set up your trading view. So my little toolbox that I got right here, I go over everything, how I get these little lines in my chart, all the tools that I use, all the indicators and stuff. I have like my little favorites right here. A lot of good value on the YouTube channel that you guys can check out. So, boom, Alex. Hey, brother, we're actually just hopping off, but glad you can actually make it on. I'm about to finish this video and then upload it to YouTube, so you can go ahead and rewatch the recording. So, appreciate you guys. Let's finish out strong this week. If I see any quality setups or anything like that, I'll let you know. I'll send it with the confirmations and stuff, and see if we can make some extra money. If not, we'll be patient, and then there's always next week. So appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you a little bit later.